All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup show with myself, Big Mo, and Trent. Today is Monday, September 9. We are on our new schedule now. The daily lineup show will be doing Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, at least probably throughout football season. And then maybe we'll like it. Maybe we'll go back to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Who knows? But for the next few months, this will be the schedule.
Every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals, LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals, LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
Speaking of football, let's jump right into the NFL yesterday. Actually, we can talk about Thursday night, Friday night as well. We have not seen each other since last Thursday before the initial Thursday night game, the Chiefs-Ravens game. But let's start with our Detroit Lions. Big win last night in overtime. Took overtime to get the win. Did blow, what was it, a 17-3 lead?
Yeah.
Overall thoughts, Trent, what do you got?
I thought it was, I don't know, it's always hard to tell week one. I thought the offense did not look near of where I thought it would be right away, just because they had such good momentum at the end of last year with the offense, and they didn't lose any pieces. So it's all the same guys. But I thought they were a little stagnant at first. I don't know how Amon-Ra doesn't get the ball unless he truly just wasn't open all game.
Yeah,
he did not get a ton of touches.
Not a lot of targets.
No, but the one at the end of the game, the one where he slipped and batted it. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
I thought that was a very smart play, like high IQ play, to not let it get picked off. But a little sluggish. I thought the defense looked pretty good. I don't know why we get a ton of pressure on the quarterback and we just can't take him down. Like a lot of jersey pulls are like just pushing him or something where you feel like you should just get the sack and Stafford's good enough to make a play out of it. But overall, great win. I mean, like the overtime possession, it's like, why can't we just do that more?
Yeah.
They just ran it right down their face. And that was it. Like Montgomery didn't get a ton of time versus Gibbs. Might be worth considering going two back with those guys. I mean, you could swing out Gibbs and have Montgomery be the bruiser, which I think they like. But it's a good win. It's a good win to beat the Rams. It's always, those games have been close past 2 years, so
they're good. They are obviously great quarterback, well coached. Montgomery 17 carries, Gibbs 11 carries, so they combined for 28 carries.
Okay.
I'd like to see that even higher. I'd like to see them combine for like 35.
But JMO was good, which kind of helped a ton because maybe their game plan was shut down Laporta and shut down Amon-Ra.
Sure.
And I thought Williams answered the call. He had a couple deep balls that he caught. He made some good plays, it's good to see out of him.
Yeah. Big Mo, what are your thoughts?
Well, I picked the Rams to win that one in our Lion breakdown. So to me, a good win because
that's right, you did.
I don't think they win it if the receiver stays healthy for the Rams.
Oh yeah, Nakua.
Nakua.
Fantasy receiver.
Those two tackles were kind of giving some fits early on to the edge rushers, and then I thought if Naduka stays healthy, they might have had some issues trying to maybe contain them a bit more. But overall, a good win. I think the Rams are going to be a solid team. Defensively, I don't think they did anything fancy last night besides get to the football. It was like 11 guys flying around. I thought the Lions did a great job as well, flying to the football and just smacking people. So if you're a Lion fan, you got to love what you saw. I think the offense comes around. I thought they got a little bit complacent in the second half. being up 17-3. I think they started to just get a little too vanilla. And they're going to have to find a way to balance Gibbs and Montgomery, because in that overtime, I mean, that's being able to run Montgomery. It was just like, hey, these other guys are tired, and we got fresh legs back here. So I think that's a good sign for the Lions. So overall, good takeaway.
Jared Goff, 18 for 28, just 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. You know, the 217 yards, I mean, if you look at the quarterback play from yesterday, pretty par for the course. A lot of quarterbacks didn't even get over 200 yards. Only 4 quarterbacks got over 250 yards. So, you know, I don't know. Again, Jared Goff, just as good as anybody else stat-wise yesterday, but what did you guys see from Jared Goff last night that you like, maybe a little that concerned you a little bit? Trent, what do you got on Jared Goff?
I thought he was fine. He's very poised. I was glad to see him throw a deep ball that got completed, and it wasn't 8 to 5 yards short of the guy going to get it.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting situation for him too, because there's 2 backs that are really good. So maybe it's a rhythm thing for him as well, because he could hand it off 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And then we need to have him make a 25-yard throw down the field the next play. So I think it's an interesting spot for him, but I think he does a great job at just controlling an offense and keeping guys in line. And he's not the most emotional guy in the world. So I think the poise helps him a lot in Lions overall.
Pretty even keel guy.
For sure.
Big Mo.
I would say again, I think he's going to have to learn. Like, I think if they were trying to take away Amon, he's not going to be able to, like, that interception he tried to force in there.
Yeah.
And if they're going to take away Amon, he's just going to have to live with the fact that Jamo's going to be open, Laporta's going to have a shot, or maybe a back. Like, they're going to take away somebody, right? So I think he's just going to have to learn that. I think they do take away the best one. And it might be Jamo one week, it might be Amon the next, and Laporta the next. So, you know, I like the play he made late with his legs.
Yeah, that was big.
That was huge.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if we've seen him really do that yet in Detroit, because usually he just takes that sack. At least he put it down, and it kind of had like a, hey, I'm going right now. I'm going. So overall, okay. Like you said, I think you got to remember, none of these guys played preseason.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much like a preseason real game.
Yeah. That's what they were saying about the Rams guys too, and then their whole offensive line got hurt. You know, it's like none of those guys played live snaps. I think you got to give them a feel, you know, just to feel some of that full game speed after a long offseason.
And I don't know. I mean, I think playing the Lions are no joke physicality-wise.
True.
Like, they are true Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, they are biting kneecaps and just trying to beat the living crap out of you. So
Anzalone was good last night. He was flying around.
Oh yeah, especially at the first series.
Yeah,
that was his series, baby.
Just rocking people.
But they're just smacking people all over. I mean, could you imagine playing against Hutchinson every snap?
Yeah.
Those
I feel
tackles.
Like he doesn't get any penalties called for him, and I feel like he gets held all the time.
Oh, luckily they called that one late where he got held, but that happened like 2 or 3 times during the game where that guy kind of chicken armed him a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he had a sack the one possession, and the guy kind of like got in between them, but just like pulled him off, which was, I don't know that ruling, but it looked like
I think that was one of the 2 that they did actually call. I think.
Yeah. Plus that tripping call.
The trip. They missed that one.
Yeah.
That was blatant.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're going to lose one that we're not going to like along the way, but they're going to compete, I think, in every game. I think we're going to, as Lions fans, we're going to go away, whether they win or lose. I mean, I enjoyed watching that game. Like, it was like, right from the get-go, let's go.
Well, you mentioned they're going to lose one or something, you know, but I'm still sticking with my 17-0.
Hey, we're on track.
I hope I'm wrong. Yeah. Hope I'm wrong.
So far, they're on pace for 17-0. Hey, let's move on. Chicago Bears, that's a team that we talked a lot about the last 5 weeks on the Daily Lineup show, mostly because of Hard Knocks and obviously, big story, number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Wow, did he not look good? The Bears did not look good, but what a comeback down. They were down, I think, 17-3, and
Yeah.
they came back and won. I think they were down 17-3, 17-0 at half, and came back and won 24-17. They shut them out in the second half. Caleb Williams, under 50% completion percentage, 14 out of 29, average of 3.2 yards per completion, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did throw for a 2-point conversion. Did you guys watch the Bears game?
I did.
A little bit.
A little bit. What'd you see, Trent, from let's start with Caleb Williams. What are your thoughts on him?
I thought he was trying to make some college plays, and he'll learn from those. And the ones where he just kind of like scrambles out and thinks he can make 4 guys miss and still create. You just got to get the ball out and just throw it out of bounds. There's a few that he made where it's like, dude, you're not making those plays in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're too fast and they're too good to let you just dance around and try to juke people. But I thought below average, kind of what I thought would happen. I like seeing the Bears lose, so it was frustrating seeing how poor their offense was that they somehow scored 24 points.
Wasn't one of them? I think one was a defensive touchdown because that's the one they got the 2
I
points.
think they had 2 defensive touchdowns.
Didn't they? Oh, geez.
Or because didn't they had a pick 6.
They had a block punt.
Oh, yeah.
And
So
I thought they scored 2 touchdowns. Did they bring a punt back or something, a kickoff or I don't know. But it's just frustrating.
Maybe they did not have an offensive touchdown.
No, they had three field goals and 2 special teams and an interception return.
Yeah. I mean, your quarterback throws for 93 yards and you guys score 24 points. I don't know.
My thing is, I feel like DeAndre Swift, he started the game with a bang, and then he only finished with 30 yards on 10 carries.
Yeah.
I feel like, he's good enough. They've got the weapons at the wide receiver position, tight end okay. The big question was the offensive line. That was what crushed Justin Fields the last 2 years. No offensive line and no weapons to throw to. This year, Caleb Williams does have some weapons. But the talk was, yes, they did upgrade at the offensive line, but I thought the offensive line did not look good.
Agreed. I didn't think they improved at all from last year. I mean, it still felt like it pretty much looked like a game from last year with Fields. They snap it.
Yeah.
And Caleb looks around for maybe a second, and then he's out of the pocket running around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a great formula, but the fact Tennessee blows that is
pathetic.
Incredible. They should have I think I saw a quote. I don't know if it's confirmed from the head coach or not. He said we would have been better off if we just punted on first down. Yeah, with that offense, it is. Yeah.
You're right.
You would have been much better off.
Well, speaking of Justin Fields, he did get the start for Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson out. 17 out of 23 for Justin Fields. That's not bad. 156 yards passing. Again, that's pretty much like every quarterback yesterday. No touchdowns, no picks. Ugly game with the Atlanta Falcons, but the Steelers somehow did win that game. They did get 70 yards out of Najee Harris. On the other side of the ball, Kirk Cousins, not a great debut, Big Mo.
2 picks. 2
picks.
He didn't play very much in the preseason either, so
right.
I think these games just all looked a little preseason-ish.
yeah, that's
I
a good
agree.
point.
You know, especially stat-wise, if you really break it down, probably. So, Justin Fields had 60 yards rushing almost. So, I think that's the perfect type of team for him because they have a great defense and they're going to try to run the ball. So I think he's in a good situation. He just can't make mistakes. Yesterday he didn't. Let the defense take care of the dub. They did. You're good to go.
Yeah. And then unless you guys got anything else NFL wise, I mean, we should mention Jordan Love sustained quite an injury apparently in the Friday night game. He's out last I heard 3 to 4 weeks, but still that could be updated now. That's just what the last I had heard.
It was his knee, right?
Knee, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
So that could be a huge factor in the NFC North.
How about those Patriots?
Yeah, what a win for the Patriots.
That is wild.
Oh wow, yeah.
Bengals stink.
Can't be good news for Joe Burrow. Come on now.
No, the Bengals are bad.
Patriots were an 8.5 point dog. The biggest spread out of any game. And not only did they cover, they freaking won the game.
Yeah. In Cincy, too.
Interesting, too. Our fantasy football league, we do a survivor pool. And I think of the 10 guys in our league, I think 8 did the pool. And I think 6 of the 8 of us took the Bengals.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, ouch, ouch.
Were you one of them?
I was.
That's tough.
So I think we're down to only 2 guys left now. So, and one of them took the 49ers. So if the Jets, I think the Jets can win tonight.
Oh,
I agree.
You always have a chance with Aaron Rodgers if he's healthy.
Yeah.
And their defense is solid.
Right.
Hey, I wanted to, as we were talking about the Bears, because again, none of us like the Bears, it sounds like. And I don't think any of us think that Caleb Williams is going to have a great rookie year. Little shout out to him that he did win his rookie debut, first QB since 2002 to win his rookie debut.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Even CJ Stroud?
2002 David Carr.
No way. That's
David Carr.
Did Stroud start his first game? But
it doesn't. And I'm sure he had a good game because he had a good game every game last year. But that doesn't mean they won. So no, you very well could be right. That is crazy. 22 years without a rookie quarterback winning a game. Wow.
So yeah, then we can move on. But give him a little bit of love.
Yeah, no, for sure. A win's a win, right?
Hey, sometimes you just gotta take. Yeah, you ain't giving them back.
No, like Dan Campbell said, it's hard to get a win in the NFL.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's transition over to college football. Very disappointing game for the Michigan Wolverines. Big Mo, you and I talked quite a bit about the Wolverines on the podcast Saturday, what we thought they needed, or more so what you were thinking they needed to do. And they did not do that. You were pretty adamant about need a big game from the running backs. Let's see here.
I think they have more of a wide receiver problem.
Well, no, for sure, but
you know what though? Maybe they do, but you know what?
But
find a way to get open, throw them open. I said on our Saturday show, Trent, that the quarterback would have to make 4 to 5 plays, and I don't think he made any.
I don't know if he made any. Yeah, I just don't know if they're getting open. That's the
true. But you know what? There's people running. You watch all these other games. There's wide receivers running open all over the darn place.
That's true.
It's got to be. Again, and I almost guarantee, and I really probably stopped. I had to watch it on tape delay or whatever, recorded, and so I didn't watch the fourth quarter because I was just sick of it.
Yeah.
And I knew the outcome. But again, you know what? You got to get your best players on the field. And who are your 2 best players offensively? Maybe who are your top 3 offensive players for Michigan right now?
Running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loveland, and you're probably your 2 freaking running backs.
2 running backs.
Find a way to get them on the field together.
True.
So again, you're pretty adamant if the Wolverines were going to be successful, needed a big game from Edwards and Mullings. I think you said they should probably combine for I think you said between around 150 yards combined. I thought probably closer to 200, but they only got 14 carries combined, and they combined for 66 yards. 14 carries. I mean, that's the strength of your offense, and they're only getting the ball 14 times combined.
Yeah. And then again, if you only have them on the field half the time each, that makes it even tougher.
Yeah.
True.
If you get them on the field together, and again, every coach has their system. So then you've got to find a way to implement that into a system, I think, and get your best players on the field.
Yeah.
And unless those receivers are better than those two, then you got to find a way to make it work. And then again, it wouldn't matter either way, because if those are your two best players, you're going to suck in the defense. They're going to try to stop the run. Now your quarterback has to make some plays.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to figure out, and I'm not too worried. I think they do figure it out. I think those guys are, they're not idiots. They've got to find a way to figure out who is the best chance for them to win. David Warren.
Yeah, Davis
Warren might be the better quarterback of the three that they have, but he might not be the best one to give them a chance to win on a Saturday game.
Yeah.
You know what? So you got to figure that out. So I think they do. Now I'm not losing faith yet.
Next week would be a good test.
Yeah,
USC.
No, they got Arkansas State first.
Yeah, before
next week.
Yeah, the following. I got you.
But no, you bring up USC. I think Michigan can get into the playoffs with 3 losses. I think right now there's no way they're going to beat Ohio State. So that's going to be 2 losses, and then between USC and Oregon, they're going to have to win one of those 2 games.
I don't think they get in with 3 losses.
With 12 teams coming from a Power 5 conference, there's a shot.
That'd be tough, because I'd be interested to go look at the last few years' records and see how many 12 teams have more than 2 losses.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
But
I'll tell you this, I think Texas finishes in the top 5 right now.
They're good.
They're bumped up to number 3.
They're very good.
And Ohio State's probably going to be in the top 4.
Or, I'm sorry, Texas bumped up to number 2.
Yeah.
Flip-flopped with Ohio State. I mean, I think
that's fair.
Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Right now, and then it's everybody else after that. So
yeah, Texas just looked, I don't know, they were locked in from the start. They were flying around making plays, and just, I don't know, I just feel like the intensity kind of startled Michigan a little bit. They just came out with more fire, I thought.
Right.
Michigan was just kind of like playing to not make mistakes.
Yeah.
And in that type of game, you gotta take some risks,
Yeah.
That's the thing. I thought the offense just looked like blah.
I agree. Throw a couple deep balls and see if you can go make a play or something.
Yeah, very vanilla, the motion stuff they did was very predictable. You're not giving it to, so what? You give it to the receiver once or twice on one of these counter or reverses or motion runs, jet type actions.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not fooling anybody.
Yeah. And then we talked about, Orgy checks in and you already know what's going to happen. He's not going to throw it.
Yeah, he didn't.
Might as well load up the box and just send everybody, because he's not going to throw it.
Make him throw it once, and then you're still So they've got that whole program is going to have to be able to pick themselves up, and they're going to have to find their identity. But I think they're okay. I think they'll be all right. I think they're all smart enough over that way to figure it out. So
it could be Florida State.
Oh.
We aren't quite there yet, Trent. Easy now. Easy now.
They are dead last in the ACC.
I did just look up last year's rankings after the regular season, so it doesn't include any of the bowl games or the playoff games. Nobody had 3 losses in the top 12 of the rankings.
Okay.
Michigan and Washington were both undefeated at that juncture. Texas, Bama, 1 loss. Florida State, they were undefeated, but we know,
Yeah.
And then you did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-loss teams. And then after that, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, they all had 3 losses. So it would be tough to get in with 3, but again, coming from a Power 5, but again, they're gonna have to get somebody good. I mean, maybe the only way they get in with 3 losses is if they do beat Ohio State. But
Yeah, I would think they got to beat USC too.
Yeah, in USC,
especially because they're home games.
Yeah,
like on the road, you kind of give them that, like, oh well, road game,
yeah,
top 15 or whatever. What's USC at these days? But like the road game stuff, I feel like it kind of you give them a little bit more slack for losing on the road.
Yeah, USC is ranked 11th.
11, okay.
So, but anyway, let's try. I mean, Ohio State. Obviously, you're a Buckeye. Huge, easy.
Yeah,
walk in the park win.
They were pretty dominant.
Yeah, they look pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how about Kyle McCord over in Syracuse?
Yeah, he's slinging
that. What did he have? Like 8 touchdowns or something?
Yeah, and then I saw him get out of the pocket, and I almost lost my shit. I was like, this dude forgot how to get out of the pocket last year, and now he's like out peeling out on stuff. And yeah, good for him, I guess.
Yeah,
good win for Michigan State as well at Maryland.
Yeah, that's not a bad win at all.
Yeah, I know the quarterback is hit or miss. He either throws it 15 yards over your head or it is perfect. Yeah. And he made a couple big plays at the end for them to get that win. But it's a good win for State.
All right, and then let's wrap up. One last thing. Let's talk a little Indiana Fever, since that's been kind of a common theme. We don't want to forget about them despite football season starting. Kind of a rough weekend for them. Game Friday night against the Minnesota Lynx, who are one of the best teams in the league, the number 3 seed. They blew, the Fever blew 2 double-digit leads in that game. Probably should have won the game. And then yesterday they did beat the Atlanta Dream, but they had to come back from 16 down. Didn't look good, needed overtime to win. Big Mo, any cause for concern with your Indiana Fever after the last 2 games over the weekend?
No, because I think I think last night's game, even though I didn't get a chance to watch it, it's one of those games where they're probably. I mean, I don't think I was trying to look up the record for Atlanta.
They're battling the sky for that 8th spot in the playoff. Yeah. Right now they're 9th.
So they've got a little something more to play for, and they. You look at that game, those game stats. Obviously, the one thing that jumps out is Clark's 9 turnovers.
Yeah,
they had 9. I think they had 17 as a team, and Atlanta had 8.
Yeah, not good.
No, because Atlanta shot like almost 40% from the field, and the Fever shot 52%.
Yes.
So you look at that game, and you're like, that game probably shouldn't have been that close. But it was, definitely just turnovers.
Yeah.
And
I know that I'm someone who would be willing to give Caitlin Clark some grace on turnovers and the team some grace on turnovers because of their style of play. But 17 is way too many. And, a lot of times Caitlin Clark ends up with a couple turnovers per game that aren't her fault. And there was at least one of those last night where, dropped a dime and the girl just couldn't catch it and fumbled it out of bounds. That happens. But I'm willing to give her some grace because she does make some risky passes. And I think when you look at, risk reward, more often than not, the reward outweighs the risk for her. But some of those turnovers last night were bad turnovers, just sloppy, where they had no shot, no chance.
Yeah. It's a lot of wasted possessions.
Yes.
9 is a lot. I know she's ball dominant, but that you got to get that number down for them to be as successful as they want to be, I think.
Yeah. And I'll add the last thing again. I didn't watch last night, but I just watching a little bit of the Minnesota game. Probably for them to be an elite team, they got to have. With having Clark out there and Mitchell, they don't have an elite guard defender. And I think that they struggle against the Dallas with the Amukamande,
Yeah.
because they don't have someone who's just a dominant or quick enough defender. And they do a great job, I think, defensively when they're locked in, switching stuff, rotating back.
Yeah.
But they seem to struggle to guard a quality guard.
Yeah, Lexi Hull's a good defender, but she always ends up guarding like the three. She ends up guarding somebody, quite a bit bigger than her.
Yes.
I will say I thought the defense, both with Caitlin Clark and the team, has improved throughout the season.
Oh,
It was bad. It
Last
was
night.
bad yesterday, and even on Friday night, the Lynx had a three from the corner. Caitlin Clark just kind of jogs out. No hand up,
Yeah.
So,
She's one of those defenders, like she sometimes, I think, and she's probably gotten away with it in a lot of her places, is her team helps her out a ton. Like
yeah,
sometimes the wrong person will rotate out just to help her.
Mhm.
And I think she's starting to realize like that kills them because those possessions add up. And so I think for them to really be elite is she's got to just at least buy into some of the team defensive stuff. Like she, once in a while, I'm just like, why is she not rotating out? And she's right next to the play. Someone else is trying to take the extra responsibility for her. And that, you do that 4 or 5 times in a game, that's 4 or 5 possessions. They might not get a stop on or get a hand up or something along those lines. But it has been better, but it's got a long ways to go to be probably championship caliber.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Kelsey Mitchell, she hasn't been great. I think her shot selection. I think she's shot the ball phenomenally since the break, and I think it's getting to her head a little bit. And she's taken some pretty bad shots. She hasn't been great. But overall, the team as a whole, their body language, they're always bitching at the refs, especially Caitlin Clark. Like it's starting to get played out a little bit.
She complains a lot.
It's bad. I mean, it's bad. So, I don't know.
How about Chicago Sky starting to win games now that Angel Reese isn't playing anymore?
I would not be surprised if they don't end up playing a lot better without her. Cordosa.
Well, plus they got the one girl back. She wasn't there for about 4 or 5 games, right?
Bet.
Number 7, the girl that had that flagrant foul against Clark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the guard.
Yeah.
But I think Cordosa, she's going to thrive now without Angel Reese, and she did. First game without Angel Reese, she goes for a double-double.
Yeah, well, but I bet she's probably playing more. You know how many minutes she played?
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first time they've won back-to-back games since June 20.
Yeah. Now, one of those games, though, Angel Reese still did play in. But they are 1-0 without her, and I would not be surprised. Here's what's crazy about this. Angel Reese, in her own words, on a live stream video on social media, she said that the team and the doctors told her she could play if she wanted to play.
What?
She's choosing not to play because she doesn't want to risk long-term. She wants to play basketball for a long time. It's like, are you kidding me? Your team is battling for a playoff spot. You're in the playoffs as of right now, and you're choosing not to play.
Oh, yeah, they got the 8 seed right now.
Yeah, and they have.
Imagine being 9 games under 500 and still make the playoffs.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was pretty crazy to hear that she's choosing not to play, even though they cleared her.
Huge team player.
It'd be one thing if they were out of the playoffs. I get it.
For sure. If they were the Los Angeles Sparks at 7-28, sure.
Yeah, and then her team would probably shut her down.
Yeah.
But it sounds like from her own words that came out of her own mouth, she's the one that made the decision. But now the excuses will come. Well, that's why she didn't win the Rookie of the Year. She didn't play the last 5 games.
Yeah. Just prepping herself.
All right. Well, hey, anything we missed? Anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
All right, good one.
I'm sure we could have talked about a lot more, but
yeah, we got tomorrow.
we do.
All right. Speaking of tomorrow, we'll see you then.